Alright, welcome back guys. It's been a while since I've done a video, so I thought, look, let's do a second video for all the modifications I've done on my car, and maybe even a third video, right? So I think it'll be too long if I put all this into one video, so I'll probably break it up into two, right? The things I'm going to talk about: the front fog lights, power frunk, right? We've got the Yoke steering wheel. We've got the pivoting screen, and we've got the rear reflector lights. They're not actually reflectors anymore, they're actually lights. Alright guys, so now we're looking at the reflectors here. A few things with this, right? So let's start off with the positives. There's only really one positive, right? And that is, it looks good. Right? When it's on, it actually looks good. Right? I like it. Let's talk about the negatives. Now there's a lot more negatives than there are the positives, right? Firstly, the original reflectors that are here, right, they're a bitch to take off. Okay, so if you come closer, you can see I've actually scratched it in parts where the paint's come off. So what I recommend to you guys, if you're going to install one of these, put some masking tape around it first before you try taking it out, right? There's two clips. There's one clip behind here and one clip around here, and an empty hole in the middle. The cable for this goes through that empty hole and up into here, all right, into the boot cavity, right? My installation method was to release a couple of screws inside, and this bumper then comes out, all right? Now there's a couple of problems with that as well. Now where this cable or this harness actually connects through into, it's the original hole for this tail light, right? Now that hole is a fairly sharp hole, so that cable going through there, I can imagine over time that hole, the sharp edges on that hole, will cut into that harness. I can imagine that happening. You know, I'll give it maybe a year or so, and if I get a blown fuse, I know exactly why I've got that blown fuse. Right, so that's two issues we've spoken about already. So taking off the original reflectors, getting that harness through that hole. I have seen some other videos where they run the harness. There's another hole down in there somewhere, and they run it through. It looks a lot harder than the original method that I've used, but it's probably going to be less hassle in the future if you have a blown fuse. Another issue with this, as you can see, the lights are actually red. Now in Australia, it's good for your brake lights to be red, that's great, but indicators need to be yellow. Right, now that's according to the Australian design rules. So that begs the question, is it legal? Right? Now the question is, for me, I'm not sure, because we have the original lights still here. It's not as if it's replacing the original lights, right? So I'm not sure about the answer to whether or not it's legal. If you know, please let me know. Put it down in the comments, and we can go from there. So, if you want to be 100% certain that it's legal, I can't give you that certainty because I don't know myself. All right. What else we got? All right. So, as I mentioned at the start, this replaces the original reflectors. So another issue I can see is we've no longer got any reflectors at the back, right? So at night time, when you're parked on the side of the road and a car's coming by, normally when they've got their headlights on, it reflects off these and you can see the vehicle, but we've no longer got any reflectors. So again, is that legal? I don't know, right? I can imagine there may be a way around it. You can get red reflector strips. Potentially you can, put some along here or something, I don't know. But there's potential ways around that part if it is illegal. The other thing I don't like about it is when you first hit the brake, it flashes 3 times. And you've already seen that. I'll show that again now. Alright, brake. Release brake. Park lights. Brake, release brake, switch off park lights, left indicator. Okay, that's not left, but anyway. Right indicator. Switch off the indicator. Brake. Right indicator. Switch off indicator. Keep your foot on the brake and switch on the park lights. Release the brake. Put the hazards on. It's a button at the top. Alright, switch off the hazards. Hit the brake. Switch on the hazards. Switch off the hazards. Release the brake. Switch off the lights. I don't like that flashing. I wish they didn't have that flashing, but it is there. For those that I suppose just see the car once or twice on the road, when they see it flash, they sort of, they go, oh yeah, it's all right, no worries. But because I know it's there every time I'm hitting the brake, it's kind of annoying me more than it's annoying anybody else, I think. So that's that.